Welcome skaters to this 4-step warm-up sequence for outside 3 turns. This sequence gives us a chance to build flow into our 3 turns and improve our transitions from backwards to forwards, vital to developing greater connectivity in our skill set on the ice. Bringing together body and mind, we'll layer our learning, first getting to grips with the steps only, and next mapping our pattern over the ice. And we'll round off by adding control with a series of pointers for good technique. We start with a forward outside 3 turn, pushing out onto a wide backward inside 2-foot stance. Weight transfer into the open stroke onto a backward outside, followed by the crossed stroke to backward inside, which also includes the preparation of the foot for the step to repeat the sequence. Forward outside 3 turn as step 1, wide step lunge step 2, transfer across outside 3, crossing in front 4, and start again. If you need to brush up those outside 3 turns or backwards crossovers, you can get a little extra help from our Technical Tuesday playlist. And now it's time for our pattern. Our forward outside edge travels a quarter of a circle to the point of turning our 3 turn. The back inside edge after our turn also covers roughly a quarter circle. Step 2 acts as a transition between our first and second circles in preparation for the backward crossover comprised of steps 3 and 4. We must anticipate the preparatory turnout of the free foot to be ready for our pattern repeat. At each repeat, emphasizing the curve leading to our outside 3 turn. Free leg position during the turn is optional, here skated in a freer style, slightly extended. As observation and learning styles differ, we're going to take a look at a follow view, which may help some of you learn the steps and pattern more easily. This side view helps us to see the emphasis on the forward outside edge leading to the 3 turn, really curving steeply and strongly to draw up to the 3 turn. Now let's address some control points for technique, starting with our 3 turn. In the early stages of developing flow through our turns, lengthening our entry glide can seem daunting. This simple barrier drill can help. With the skate side hand on the barrier, tee up your feet in preparation to push. Never releasing that hand from the barrier, allow yourself to curve both away and then return on that circle to the barrier before allowing the 3 turn to occur right by the barrier. This drill can also be useful when we're introducing the extended free leg version to practice the moment of turning and extending our free leg out of our circle. It is also a very useful drill for introducing knee action, starting from a low knee, rising to the point of the 3 turn and descending again post 3 turn. Developing the drill for another stage, we're going to add upper body as we now exchange from our first arm to a second hand, exchanging the hand on the barrier as we turn the 3 turn to encourage the upper body to rotate with our skating foot. And now the connection to step 2. A hand on the barrier is optional. Taking up position as if we just finished our 3 turn, we're going to descend in the knee before sending the body weight out across to our inside edge. We really want to feel settled over our 3 turn exit so we can descend into that standing knee, staying low for our lateral portion. However, rising up out of that knee is highly undesirable and a waste of energy. So always remember to get low before you go. Now let's take a look at our stance on that backward inside edge. For a casual flowing style, we can distribute our backward inside glide over 2 feet, having shifted mostly to our new skating foot with an extension through our pushing leg, resulting in an unequal division of weight. Here's a term you may have heard your coach say before: we want to be truly over our skating foot, collecting all that potential energy as we compress down into the knee. From our extended free leg position at the end of our 3 turn, it's going to be important this does not get in our way as we move on to our next step, collapsing the free leg as we bend in readiness to go with that body weight, full commitment out to the side. Each time that we complete a 3 turn, we want to be focusing on our center of mass, really driving down through the standing leg to give us that extra stability as we prepare to drive out onto the inside edge. Now let's tackle linking step 4 with the repeat of step 1. As we near the completion of steps 3 and 4, we should have maintained a tidy shoulder line, held parallel to our skating blade. Preparation for step 1 begins by drawing our free foot back from out of the circle to inside the circle, forming approximately a 90-degree angle between the skates. Pulling the toes upward will help introduce the blade on a good running edge. The angle between our feet as we make this step is vitally important, so let's discuss. Any angle less than 90 degrees will result in failure as we attempt to step forwards, so 90 is our minimum. And while 90 is the minimum, go a little bit more and we'll have an even better step to forwards. This barrier drill can help us develop awareness of not only the angle between the feet, but also the knees to get that true running edge. We can take a moment to settle over our standing foot just before we make that weight transfer, again ideally through the heel and rolling down into the midsection of the blade. Progressing this drill one stage further, we can begin to finesse the angle that we want for our 3-turn entry. As the new skating foot meets the ice, the center of mass and the upper body need to be a fraction further into the circle, or closer to our little UFO. This will allow us to get a spontaneous and strong forward-outside curve leading up to our 3-turn. And here are a couple of options for barrier drills to help us to get accustomed to that weight transfer and lean simultaneously. We can skate it parallel to the wall or perpendicular. And a little note for anyone who struggles to get over that outside edge due to pronation or flat feet. Use the angle of the lower leg to try and coax a better angle to introduce the blade to an outside edge. This little nugget of technique can be very useful if you are a competitor skating pattern dances for key points, as it helps the technical panel to see your edge introduced at the correct angle. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out more of the great content here on my channel.